This is the first video in a series of 17, exploring the book, The Power of Discipline, How to Use Self-Control and Mental Toughness to Achieve Your Goals by Daniel Walter. In this video, we'll dive into Chapter 1, Self-Discipline, the Biological Argument. What if I told you that your ability to achieve financial prosperity after the age of 40 doesn't depend solely on talent, luck, or opportunity, but on how your brain has been trained to deal with pleasure, effort, and time? That's right. Success, prosperity, and even financial freedom have a biological root, and it's called self-discipline. Daniel Walter begins this book by tearing down one of the biggest myths of the modern mindset: the idea that some people are born disciplined and others are not. Science has already proven this to be false. Self-discipline is not a gift, it's development. It's not genetic, it's training. And once you understand that, you realize it's never too late to reprogram your mind. Not at 40, not at 60. Our brain is made up of about 100 billion neurons, tiny cells responsible for everything we think, feel, and do. And among them, there are two very special areas: the ventromedial prefrontal cortex and the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. These are the regions associated with decision-making, emotional control, and the ability to plan for the future. In other words, they are the centers of conscious prosperity. When you decide to save money instead of spending on impulse, that's your prefrontal cortex at work. When you choose to study instead of giving up, it's in command. And when you stay focused on a long-term goal, even without seeing immediate results, it's the prefrontal cortex that sustains the journey. Science shows that successful people activate these regions of the brain with far greater intensity. They literally think differently. But here's the most fascinating part. These regions can be trained. Exactly like a muscle. Every time you resist an impulse, keep a promise to yourself, or delay a reward, you're strengthening your brain to prosper. Self-discipline, therefore, is a kind of mental workout. And like any workout, the more you practice, the stronger you become. One of the most famous examples of this concept comes from the classic marshmallow test conducted at Stanford University. Children who were able to wait a few extra minutes to receive a second marshmallow, instead of eating the first one right away, turned out, years later, to be the most successful in various areas of life: career, finances, relationships, and health. The reason? They had learned early the art of delayed gratification, and the ability to wait in practice is the foundation of prosperity. Now think about this in adult life. How many times have you given in to the urge to buy something you didn't need just to feel a momentary pleasure? How many financial opportunities have you lost because you quit too soon? How many times have fear, fatigue, or doubt overpowered your purpose? These are the subtle saboteurs of self-discipline and consequently of prosperity. The good news is that it's never too late to reverse that pattern. Even if you feel like you've lost control of your financial life, it's possible to rebuild your mental discipline. And the first step is to understand how it works biologically. The brain seeks immediate pleasure because for thousands of years, that meant survival. But today, the greatest danger isn't hunger, it's distraction. The same brain structure that once made our ancestors chase food now makes us chase notifications, discounts, and instant rewards. And while we do that, life quietly slips through our fingers. That's why prosperity is not just about earning more, it's about mastering yourself. It's when you begin to drive your brain instead of being driven by it, and that transformation happens literally inside your neurological system. Neuroscience shows that self-discipline is directly linked to the brain's executive function, the ability to set goals, plan actions, resist distractions, and stay focused. It's the same function that helps you choose to invest in a course instead of an expensive dinner, to study instead of complain, to act instead of delay. And the more you train these functions, the more natural disciplined behavior becomes. Discipline stops being an effort and becomes part of your identity. But there's one important detail. Self-discipline gets tired. Just like a muscle, it has limits. Psychologists call this phenomenon willpower fatigue. Every time you have to resist temptation, make a difficult decision, or deal with stress, your willpower tank drains a little. And if you deplete it without recharging, you end up falling back into old patterns. That's why it's not just about resisting, it's about protecting your mental energy. Avoid environments that sabotage you. If the problem is impulsive spending, don't walk into stores without a purpose. If procrastination is your weakness, remove visual and digital distractions from your workspace. Self-discipline begins before temptation appears, and a mature mind understands that the best form of self-control is prevention. Another silent enemy of discipline is stress. Under pressure, the brain switches into survival mode, and when that happens, it only wants to relieve discomfort. It's in that state that impulsive decisions are born: overspending, overeating, giving up too soon. The secret lies in learning to calm your nervous system. Deep breathing, conscious pauses, and moments of rest are just as essential to prosperity as work itself. Without inner balance, no external strategy will ever work. Daniel Walter shows that self-discipline is a bridge between biology and behavior. It's the point where instinct transforms into awareness, and awareness into prosperity. For those in the mature stage of life, this is liberating, because it proves you are not trapped by your past. The brain can be reprogrammed, and the mind can be trained to prosper at any age. At 40, 50, or 60 years old, life gives you a gift that youth doesn't have: consciousness. You already know the price of hasty decisions. You've felt the weight of wrong choices. And it's precisely that wisdom that can be turned into wealth. Self-discipline is the tool that transforms experience into results, learning into progress, and time into prosperity. Science confirms what ancient wisdom has always taught. Mastery of oneself is the foundation of all lasting wealth. Money is a consequence, not a cause. When you govern your mind, you govern your habits. And when you govern your habits, you transform your entire financial reality. So if you feel that prosperity still hasn't arrived, perhaps it's not money that's missing. It's discipline. Not discipline in a rigid or punishing sense, but discipline as a form of self-love. The kind of love that chooses to invest in yourself, even when no one is watching. The love that knows how to wait, that resists, that persists. Because those who plant discipline harvest freedom. Remember, self-discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you achieve. And that bridge is built one step at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Biology gave you a brain, but the decision to use it consciously is yours alone. If this video spoke to you, like, share, and leave a comment below saying, "I choose to have self-discipline." And be sure to check out our materials on financial mindset development, available in the first pinned comment. It was wonderful to have your company today as we learned a little more together. I'll be waiting for you in the next chapter.